Okay, guys. Appreciate you covering our team. Tough one for our guys. Tough one. Ohio State's got a really good football team, and I'm proud of our guys, but we just weren't good enough today. Questions?
Down 14-3 midway through the third quarter, number one team in the country. Are you encouraged by what you saw from your team in the first 2.5 quarters?
Yeah, but that's not. Yes, they did some good things, but we made mistakes that, I think we need to stop making them if we're going to have a chance to compete with a team like that. And it's not just players, it's not just coaches, it's everybody, starting with me. So we got to get better. Incremental improvement. The 24-hour rule, we'll get back home, get to work on it, and move forward. Got a big game next week.
You mentioned some of those mistakes. 3 of Ohio State's touchdowns came within 3 plays after defensive penalties. It's just how much of an impact did those have in some of those stretches where you almost had to stop for a couple?
Well, we're off. The first one, we have a sack, or we're off and we get a hold. I think it was a sack. Yeah, we get a sack and we get a hold. And then the 4th down play, we're off. We get a penalty. The 3rd touchdown, I was proud of the guys. They started with the ball on the 1-yard line, right? So we stop them coming out at half, which is what I said. Hey, man, we got to come out and get a stop, and then go score and win the middle 8 and have a chance to take this thing into the 4th quarter. The whole plan was get it to the 4th quarter and see if we can't win this game. And at points, I thought we had a chance to do that. And that they get the ball at the 1-yard line on the sack fumble. I was proud of our guys. They stuff them, and they cause them to commit a foul and move them back to the 11. And then that play, you judge for yourself. I'm not real happy with that play, and I'm not disappointed in. I'm not happy with that play.
Going off that, you were pretty animated with the officials after that play. Just what did you see? What went
Yeah. There's a couple things today that I wasn't pleased with, but, they're not perfect. Well, certainly I made my share of mistakes today. Everybody makes mistakes. I'm not, we now have probably the officials' worst nightmare is that we have iPads now. So we can see it, right? So it's disappointing when you see it. It's not like you have to wait to get on the bus and watch the tape. You see it in real time, or just about. But look, we're not 1 or 2 penalties away from winning this game. That I can tell you. Would it have made it more interesting? Sure. But we wore down a little bit, I think. And we're a good football team.
So along with that play that we just discussed, were there flags that didn't call for your side, or some of the flags that called for these guys that didn't like just more the others?
Yeah, I don't get into the officiating. Officials have a tough job. There's 8 of them. There's 22 players. The 22 players are getting bigger, stronger, and faster every year. So, to make those calls in real time is a very challenging job, and I have a lot of respect for the job they do. Do I get disappointed when I believe that the call was incorrect? Sure, but I also get disappointed when I make a bad call. We all make mistakes.
Sam Brennan, season high 7 carries for 16 yards. I guess where is he in his comfort level getting back on the field when you see out there from him today?
We felt like their defensive front is so big and so strong that we felt like Sam maybe gave us something a little different. Not that Antoine and Benji aren't strong, but Sam's, I don't know, 15, 20 pounds heavier. So we thought all 3 of them could kind of mix and match in the game today. Not many people have run the ball on these guys. Not many people have scored points on these guys. I looked and I said, it's 7.5, and then I looked a little deeper, and they're less than a touchdown a game average. So earlier in the week I said I thought they were really doing a great job. Matt Patricia comes in as the coordinator, does a great job defensively, and really good talented players. But at the end of the day, it's about us in my mind. And we didn't play well enough. We didn't coach well enough. We need to go back to work and improve. Yep.
Time for 2 more. You're playing for a bowl game next week against Penn State at home. There's a lot of parts in that game. What's your approach
Yeah, I mean the approach is the same as it always is, right? When circumstance cannot dictate your behavior. Is it exciting that you have a game that if you win you keep playing, and if you don't, ooh, yeah, that's fun. As a competitor, you love that. But the preparation, if you let circumstance dictate your behavior, you're gonna have a tough life, and that's what I try to teach these kids. Right? You have to react to things. There's no doubt about that. But you can't let that be the impetus to what you do. Otherwise, you're going to be chasing things the rest of your life. You have to learn how to, put your feelings aside and make choices, and that's what we have to do. We have to lock in and focus and get better. And there'll be stuff from this game that we can improve on, and evaluate what Penn State's doing, and come up with a plan and go practice all week and get ready to go play.
Final question? On that 4th and 1 in the motion order, I guess, even before the timeout, was that your decision to go for it the entire way, even during the timeout? And I guess, what was the deciding factor that made you want to keep the offense on the field?
Well, I thought it was going to be a game where we had to be aggressive, knowing how good they are. But I also know that not a lot of people have moved the ball on them in short yardage, right? So when you look at a 2-game sample size or a 3-game sample size, you could say, oh, they're really hitting it, calling it right, doing it right. When you look at a 10-game sample size and there's not a lot of conversions there, you have to. But we felt like the risk was worth the reward because we needed to keep the drive alive, and we did. I thought there was things we didn't then, but there were some things that we did that kept the ball in our hands, kept the clock moving. Again, there was a plan to try to get it into the fourth quarter and go win it, and we just came up a little short. So that's the way it goes. We'll get better. And, again, I thank you for covering us. Appreciate you coming out. And get home safely. Thanks.